Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Some more sevens action. Australia taking on our African friends Kenya in the second round of the group stages. It is a Pool B clash. Australia beating Samoa in the first game, 21 points to 14. Currently top their log. But the question is, can they make it back-to-back wins? Can Kenya keep themselves in contention with a shock win? As we do get things underway, and it's immediately won back by Australia. And that's well taken into context. Looking at the starting lineups in a little bit, not too many changes from Australia's first game. And going with consistency with Digital Roach not going on the left-hand side, trying to find a bit of space. Almost gets through, does get through, in fact, still going. Eventually brought down by Kevin Wakese, but gets the offload away. And this is a perfect start for Australia. And it is James Turner who goes over within 30 seconds of kickoff. So any hope the Kenya had of a good start is firmly out the question. They have just gone to try behind in 30 seconds and not looking very good. Right, so Australia, who are looking to try and make themselves medal hopes, they've not traditionally been. They've traditionally always been a solid seventh side, not always been within the top four. They did finish fourth on the series, so they might fancy themselves a potential medal, given the fact that South Africa, within the pool of death, potentially could be out early as well and not playing particularly well. Fiji looked a lot better in their pool, but didn't look fantastic this season. Could be a couple of upsets as well. So I think this is genuinely a sevens Olympics with the conversion, by the way, good, which could go any way. I think we're seeing a lot of sides playing above where they usually sort of are. I think a lot of the top sides, for example, maybe not necessarily playing as well as they have in the past. So I think it could be quite an open Olympics. And the restart there, that's much better this time for Kenya as the captain, Anthony Mboya, goes up and brings it down well. Now it's Vincent Onyala who's brought down and concedes a penalty as Australia. So Kenya ball. And if you're South African, well, tough times. Tough times be last time because it was a bit of a disaster first game earlier on. Not good work there from the Blitz box. They went down to Ireland 10 points to 5. So not hammered. Defended well in parts. Maybe a bit of a dodgy yellow card that some people are complaining about. But in general, just didn't look like the Blitz box they kind of looked like the Blitz box of the season, to be honest. Not the Blitz box we have come to know them in recent years. But back to this game, we're about to get things underway. Asati, the number 9 for Kenya, is in and ready to take the scrum. Big decisions this from Kenya to take the scrum. Interesting one. Going to build from inside their own half. Ball available at the back. And a bit of pressure on the bounce. Eventually gathered and then kicked ahead. I'll tell you what, there's plenty of pace on offer here. Will the bounce of the ball favor him? He's penned, but it's just been brought down. Really good work that from Patrick Odongo Congo. And penalty quickly taken as well. And he's under the poles. Anthony Mboya, the captain and the scrum cap. Good awareness, good pace. Kenya head back and around to the pole, so they should be able to level. And there's the celebration of the golf swing. Watching where his drive goes. Things you love to see is Kenyan bees scoring tries against Australians. There he goes. Brilliant work that from him. Right, things level now. Nice little hit back there from Kenya. Really nice to be able to see Kenya get back to the 7 seed team that they were. I mean, they've won a series before, for example. Got a series. Actually, I don't know if they won, but then they got to a final. So it'd be really, really cool to see them get back to the Kenya of old. But anyway, so one try apiece, and it is 7-7 after sort of 4 minutes. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left on the clock as comes back aside. As comes the Australian captain, Nick Maloof. And that's a horrible error there. Maurice Longbottom locking it on just outside the 22. That's a big moment in the game this for Kenya. They'll have an attacking scrum just outside the 22. A try, put them in the lead. Give them a bit of momentum. Rare mistake that from Longbottom. Usually a very reliable player for Australia. Right on the bounce. Good pickup. And now look, he ran back towards support. It's actually well worked in the end by Kristen Ojwang. Now on the left-hand side. Oh, run the numbers, mate. Run the numbers. Almost risk of obstruction, but nothing there from Akoth. Now here is the captain and try scorer, Anthony Mboya. Kenya, who expected to get lots of medals during this Olympics, but not really expected to get one from a rugby. It would be really, really cool if they could get themselves into the running. They'd have to beat Australia here. Now, ball back inside. Options are plenty. Good work this year from Kenya. Went down to Argentina quite heavily early on, so need to try and respond. From a blitzbox perspective, you kind of want to see some big wins from other sides because you want to try and finish as a best third place if you want to try and stick it to the quarterfinals. If we were to lose to New Zealand later, obviously we can beat New Zealand later, and then things don't matter. But anyway, Australia now building from deep. Hutchison trying to get away from one and wrapped up eventually by his opposite number, John Okeo. Now long bottom to Turner. Turner steps inside, spinning in the tackle. Long bottom is there to and now on the left-hand side. Now this is Dietrich Roach. Puts it to the boot. And that's going to be a runaway try here for Australia. He timed it absolutely perfect. And it's going to be Nathan Lawson who's going to pick it up, wander over to the poles and dab it down. Really well worked that from Australia. Very patient in the build-up. And then eventually just finding a bit of space, then going to the boot. And yeah, I mean, Nathan Lawson timed his run to perfection and was well ahead of any Kenyan players when the kick came in. So yeah, it was a bit of a trivial point there. I mean, the Kenyan players didn't defeat. They basically just gave up. They knew they were well beaten. And Roche makes no mistake, right in front of the Poles. 24 points, or 24 points, 14 points to 7 rather, just before half time. Not the way Kenya wanted to finish the half. They've got 20 seconds there. They were a steep kickoff, so they'll yet have another opportunity with 10 seconds left on the clock to try and have a go. Nathan Lawson, his second try of the day and of the games. Goes pretty short there to Roach. That'll be contestable and goes up and knocks it forward back into the hands of the Australians. Does Kenya. Ball comes loose and then I think another knock on over there. So 2 knock-ons will have half time. Right, half time and Australia 14 points to 7, looking to try and book their spot in those quarterfinals. And Kenya looking a lot better than they did against Argentina. Just one try behind. But that kickoff really not good enough from Kenya. I mean, it's basically a one-on-one situation there. Much, much easier from an Australian perspective to jump up and try and hit it backwards, as opposed to Kenya, who's trying to get up and actually catch the ball, was Vincent Oyala. Right, Mark no longer need to watch there. All smiles at the moment. So interesting to see if he gets a bit of a better go in the second half. One of the several 15 stars who have made the switch for the Olympics, as we have often seen before. I'll tell you what, give me that bucket hat. The Kenyan coach is sporting a lacquer Kenyan bucket hat, which is looking the part there. And Nike, the official kit provider for Kenya, does help. They've got all those. In fact, it's actually weird enough. I was about to say it's Umbro for the kit itself, and the coach wearing a Nike hat and a Nike shirt. Very confused about that. So Umbro's got the official match shirt for Kenya. However, the coaches are all wearing Nike gear. Kenya is Nike. I'm going to check there, but I'm 99% sure that Kenya have got Nike as their official supplier. At South Africa, we got with Maxed, which is Mr. Price Band, which has gotten a little bit better recently. When we had that actually horror show, we had, I think it was a Chinese company back in 2016. Rio, which had an absolute dreadful, and all the issues with the actual kit with the stickers coming off and stuff. That's a much better kickoff, though, from Kenya, and they've won a penalty. So they'll be able to attack early on here in the second half. You've got to try to score next if they are to be to contend this game. Right, Kenya building from deep. Captain goes short and solid carry there from Kevin Wakesa. Now Mboya looking for options. Coming to join the line there is Ojwang. On the right hand side. Steps back inside. It's a nice step there from John Okeyo. Eventually brought down by Turner, but makes a couple of yards. Now options. Now a bit of an overlap if they want to try and use it. Steps inside upside as Ojwang. Gets away from one, just outside the 22. Good continuity this now for Kenya. Now it's Asati. Stitches back inside. Going short is Onyala. Now back to the captain. Mboya. Good read that from Nick Maloof, the Australian captain. But still with Kenya. Got on the left-hand side. Probably have to swing it back here. Looking to try and build from deep. And the skipper takes it once again. Pick up and go. Losing a lot of territory here are Kenya, but they've had most of the possession so far in the second half. Very, very slow ball this year for Adongo. That's a nice little inside ball. And almost through. Eventually reeled in is Vincent Onyala. Nice moment that for Kenya. Quick ball here coming from Okeyo. Good defense this year from Australia, must be said. And it's penalty for not rolling away. Quickly taken here from Mboya. Looking a little bit tired in the feature, Kenya. Good hands, but left behind. I tell you what, turnover here from Hutchinson. Looking for options, pops it up. No, does not pop it up. Pick up and go now. And now back to Lawson. And penalty for Australia on the halfway line. And all of that pressure from Kenya coming to nothing, unfortunately. And then winning a penalty really, really well to Kenya. So hanging on at the moment. Could use a couple of replacements. They need a bit of energy to Kenya. I'll tell you what, no energy needed. They kicked ahead, and the ball is winning the race here is Okongo, but then the second kick just not really good enough for him. Really good awareness of the laws. Where's the support? And that is heartbreaking for a man. He's busted, got all the way. The ball just not staying up for him, and then the kick from him down the right-hand side. He had to then veer offline. And you've got to say, this is really just not good enough from Anthony Mboya. Look at the amount of Australian players getting behind, getting back to try and show the support. He goes down, he does well, puts his the ball down, he has another go, and there's just no Kenyan support whatsoever. Yeah, I think that'll be the end of his game. They absolutely finished after that rung is a Congo. Just lack the, I mean, it's an interesting thing to say that the Kenyans have lacked the fitness, but they just haven't had the energy and the pace that Australia have had so far. Not the biggest kick there from Australia, but they'll have the feet to large outside of 22. So 3 minutes left on the clock. Just 7 points separate the two sides, so it's still been relatively close. Round the line up down to Gonzalez. Well carried that from, I think that's a replacement, Corey Toole. Now Roach goes back to the left-hand side. That's really, really powerful work that from Henry Patterson. He still goes Henry Patterson. Pops it up as well, very well to Gonzalez. And then a penalty for Australia. Kenya Discipline now starting to get the best of them. Right, that's a much better kick this time from Australia. Looking to try and finish on a high here. Goes short to Australia, to Gonzalez. Now on the right-hand side there, a bit of space there for Toole. Toole's got a lot of pace on him. Toole's going to go all the way. That'll be it for Australia. He's going to run in Australia's third try underneath the post. Good, I mean, what acceleration. Always had the pace there. Going to build up a little bit of time there. Brilliant work that from the replacement. Just come on and added so much energy to this Australian side. And Kenya have looked very, very, very... very dead in their feet, unfortunately. Right, 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Kenya will kick to Australia. Mark Nawangeli to Asia on to finish it off. And 21 points to 7. The same, almost, Kenya would have scored again and converted with the same scoreline. So another 3 tries for Australia. Job done really with 30 seconds left to go. They can't lose from here. So that'll be them into the pools, into the quarterfinals. First team to do so. Decent take that out of the air. A lot of pressure being put on Kevin Wakese. Still there. So I still carry that from the replacement. Nigel Patterson. He's still going, in fact. Now he gets picked up and driven back. Really good work that from Hutchison, but a penalty to Kenya. And I might say, just going to settle things down, yeah, before taking quickly. Might actually just go to the boot, you know, they tapped it. Guys, we're still playing. We can stop looking at the replay and still playing. Looking at options, getting away from, he still has been caught up in the ball. He's still going, in fact, actually, nice little step inside that from Samuel Asante. Now kick up and go, but it's been charged down by Hutchinson. It'll run off. Right, Australia go back-to-back wins. They are the first team, in theory, to book their spot in the quarterfinals. I don't think they can lose it from there. So they will be into the next round. That'll be their day done. They'll be back in action tomorrow against Argentina in what will potentially be a clash for the top of the table. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well, and we'll see you guys all.